You've had an idea so good you could feel it, and then the second you tried to explain it, it died. It sounded smaller, worse, wrong, and you thought you were just bad at communicating. You weren't. Your brain was working against you, and I can prove it with physics. The biggest bottleneck in your business isn't your knowledge. It's the 12 inches between your brain and your mouth. In this video, I'm going to show you why talking and thinking are fundamentally different brain processes, why your nervous system is literally trained to block your best ideas from ever reaching language, and why AI agent systems with zero nervous system might actually be better communicators of your deepest thinking than you are. This isn't theory. This is neuroscience, physics, and a direct application to how you build knowledge systems that express what you actually know. Here's something that almost nobody explains clearly. Talking and thinking don't happen in the same place. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio spent decades proving that most of our thinking, the real pattern, recognition, the intuitive leaps, the gut level knowing, happens in subcortical regions that have no direct pipeline to language. Daniel Kahneman called this system fast, nonverbal, pattern-based. Your intuition isn't a feeling. It's a high-speed analysis engine running 24/7 that language can only gesture at. Wittgenstein said it in 1921. The limits of my language mean the limits of my world. The problem isn't that your ideas are bad. The problem is that language is a low-resolution codec trying to transmit a 4K signal. And when you're working at high levels, philosophy, strategy, nuanced frameworks, the word choice isn't just style. It's the structure of the idea itself. Get the word wrong and the idea collapses. So then I started noticing something. The smarter the idea, the harder it was to say out loud. And it wasn't because the ideas weren't ready. It was because my nervous system was treating social expression like a threat. Stephen Porges, the researcher behind Polyvagal Theory, showed that the social engagement system is literally hardwired to scan for danger before allowing full communication. Judgment, ridicule, being wrong publicly, these aren't weaknesses. They're nervous system responses to real social consequences, and they operate below conscious thought. Brene Brown's research found that shame, the fear of judgment, is the single biggest suppressor of authentic expression. Stephen Pressfield calls the whole system resistance, an invisible force that shows up as creative blocks, imposter syndrome, procrastination, perfectionism, excuses. He describes it like a physical law. The more important the work, the stronger the resistance. Some people's nervous systems literally shake before they speak. That's not metaphor. That's polyvagal activation shutting down your voice. Then this happened. I started building knowledge bases and agent architectures for thought leaders, researchers, coaches, consultants with frameworks so sophisticated that regular AI couldn't hold them. And something strange became obvious. The AI doesn't have a nervous system. It has no fear of judgment. It doesn't care if the idea sounds stupid. It won't hesitate before saying the thing that needs to be said. Nassim Taleb writes about tacit knowledge, the things practitioners know but cannot explain. The gap between what the expert knows and what they can say is enormous. And it's not an intelligence problem, it's a diffusion problem. Jeffrey Hinton has talked about how neural networks develop pattern recognition that even their creators can't fully articulate in language. The pattern is real. The language just hasn't caught up. That's your intuition. That's your best thinking. It lives in the system, but can't fully exit through the mouth. An agent team trained on your frameworks, your transcripts, your voice, it holds the pattern without the biological filter. The ideation pipeline, the train of thought you can feel but can barely catch, becomes expressible through a system that has no social fear, no imposter syndrome, no nervous system resistance. Cal Newport would say the information age has shattered our attention span so badly we can't even sustain the train of thought long enough to articulate it. The agent doesn't have that problem either. The question stops being, can AI communicate my ideas? And starts being, is the AI actually a better diffusion mechanism for the things I know than my own nervous system? The invisible physics of thought works like this. Ideas form at a layer below language. They surface as intuition. pattern recognition that can't be fully verbalized, only described in approximations. They then have to pass through a nervous system filter trained to suppress anything that might invite social consequence. Most ideas die there. They never make it to language at all. What I build are architectures designed to capture the idea before it hits that filter. You talk, you workshop, you write, and we train the knowledge base on the full texture of your thinking. Then agent teams hold that model and produce from it without the blockage. Not instead of you, as you, but without the resistance. If you want to see what this looks like in practice, the actual architecture, the prompts, the KB structure, it's inside my community. Link below. Most people don't realize the bottleneck isn't their knowledge. It isn't their ideas. It's the 12 inches of nervous system standing between the thought and the output. Now you have a framework to see it and a system to route around it. Subscribe if you're a thinker who's tired of their best ideas dying between their brain and their mouth. We build the systems that let them out.